Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another nail video, finally. I know it's been like 2 weeks, but there's only so many times I can do my nails in a month. But I am going to be showing you how to change your nail design without removing your gel extensions. So I went from this fall abstract design to this really pretty and simple gold chrome tip design without removing my gel extensions. So I wanted to change my nail design to something a little more simple for my sister's wedding, which was actually 2 days ago. I have done this before where I've changed my design without removing the extensions, but this time my nails were a little bit more grown out. So I ended up trying to do a Gel X fill-in for the first time. I'm not going to go into extreme detail in this video how I did that because I want to practice it a bit more, but you guys will see that I ended up doing that as well. But with or without the fill-in process, this is a super easy way to switch up your nail design. And if you guys do enjoy the nail content on this channel, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and let's just get right into it. So these are the nails that I did in my last nail video, and since I applied them, it has been about 3 weeks. I think they're in pretty good condition, but like I said, I did want to switch it up for my sister's wedding. So I'm just going to remove all the polish and do another design. So to do this, I'm using my e-file and a coarse carbide bit. I'm only putting the speed on my e-file up to 15 so that it's not too fast and it doesn't eat through my actual nail extension. I also make sure not to apply too much pressure so that the only thing I'm removing is the actual gel polish. I had so many people ask me where I got this e-file, and I'm so sorry, but I bought it from a local nail supply, like a little Asian supply store that did not have a brand name, did not have a website. It's just a little local store in my area, and I paid $25 for it, and it works so well. It's one of the best e-files I've ever had, so I'm so sorry I can't share it with you guys, but I will link down the drill bit that I'm using. It is from the brand Pana, and yeah, I'll leave that link down in the description box because this has been a game changer when it comes to removing gel polish and gel extensions. So I'm just filing off the polish on every nail. I did leave a little bit on the tips because I will be cutting these nails down, so I didn't want to waste time removing every last speck of gel. So next I'm using my nail tip cutter to trim down my nail extensions. I figured this was the perfect opportunity to try out some shorties without having to do a full set and then not liking them, because spoiler, I really do not like short nails on me. I feel like my hands are too stubby, so I probably won't be doing them again. So to reshape them and make sure everything is nice and even, I'm using my hand file. This is a 180 grit on both sides. And then to smooth down the nail tip area, especially because it was super sharp, I'm using a regular hand buffer. So I'm switching the nail bit on my e-file so that I can use a sanding band. This is, I believe, a medium grit sanding band, and I'm using this to smooth out the area around my cuticle. Because my nail extensions were a little more overgrown than they usually are when I change my polish like this, I did have some areas around my cuticles that were lifting. So when I drilled them, they kind of broke off or just created these rough edges. So I'm using the sanding bit to smooth everything out and try and blend it as best as I can to my natural nail. Also, I forgot to mention, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but when I'm using the sanding band with my e-file, I make sure to put it at an even lower speed. I believe I put it on speed 5. Since I'm working around the cuticle where my natural nail is exposed, I put it at a lower speed so that that friction isn't as high. I'm not exactly sure if it's the friction from the sanding band or the speed that you put it on, but sometimes when you are using a sanding band, it can cause these heat spikes on your natural nails. And to avoid this, I just try to work as slow as possible and be as gentle as I can, especially around my natural nails. So that really helps smooth out everything around the cuticle area. Now I'm going in with my bonder and primer. I'm only applying this to the area where my natural nail is exposed near the cuticle. This is going to make sure that the nail extension glue that I apply adheres well to my natural nail. I'm using the same bonder and primer that I've always used. It is from the brand Après. So now I'm going to be using the Savvyland Nail Extend Glue Gel to do my Gel X fill-in process. I feel like that was a lot, but this is the first time that I'm doing a Gel X fill-in, like I mentioned. So I've been really wanting to learn and see how a fill-in works with Gel X, because sometimes your nails are way overgrown, but they're still in really good condition. If you take care of your nails and you're not too rough with them and they're applied correctly, Gel X can actually last quite a long time. But I feel like fill-ins with Gel X aren't super popular compared to like acrylic fill-in or something like that. So I was just curious about it, and I've been wanting to try it out, and I wasn't gonna have these nails on for long anyway, so I was okay with it if it didn't come out looking the greatest. But basically, I'm just putting a little blob of that extension glue on the area near my cuticle where my natural nail is exposed, and then I am kind of dragging it down over the whole extension. So after one coat of the nail extension glue, this is what my nails look like. They still looked very lumpy. You can definitely still see the line from where the nail tip started versus my natural nail. So I decided to go in with one more coat and do the same thing, put a little blob near my cuticle and drag it down a bit. The second coat did make it a little bit better, although it still wasn't as smooth of a like transition as I would like, but I just moved on and started applying my base color to start my design. So for my base color, I'm using Creme de la Femme from Gel-ish. This is one of my favorite nude polishes. I also really love the consistency of this polish. It's super thick. It almost feels like a builder gel a little bit. Like, I don't know, it does add a little bit of bulk to your nails, honestly. Sometimes you have to be careful. If it's not cured right away, it'll start like moving, and then the ends of your nails will kind of be thicker because the polish will spread. But overall, it's a really good polish. It has really good coverage, and it's a beautiful nude color. I ended up applying 2 coats of that nude polish, and now we're moving on to our nail design. This is a super simple design with chrome powder. So I bought this chrome powder as well as a silver one from Sally Beauty. I'm sure I should be able to find a link, and I'll link it down below. But I'm just using one of those tiny little makeup sponges. I believe this little sponge came with it. I could be wrong. You could just use a little old eyeshadow sponge like this to apply the chrome powder. One mistake I did make on my thumbnail is that I didn't wipe off that sticky layer from the gel polish before I started applying the chrome. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see or be able to tell the difference, but on my thumb, the chrome powder looks more glittery. And then on the other nails, since I wiped off that tacky layer, it looks more like legit chrome, if you know what I mean. But for this design, I wanted to have a ombre effect. So I really packed on the chrome powder at the very tips of my nails. And then I kind of diffused it out a little bit using the other side of this applicator to kind of brush it upward. And that gave me the effect I was looking for. It honestly didn't come out the greatest, but it did what it had to do. It was good enough for me not to want to remove this entire set and start over. So Lastly, I'm going in with my gel top coat. This is the non-white top coat from Apres. I've also had people comment saying like, doesn't your top coat leave a sticky layer? You don't wipe it off. It's because there are some top coats that you don't have to do that anymore, and they're the best, honestly, because once you're done, you're done. So with this one, I just apply one layer of that. I cure for 60 seconds, and if it's dry completely, it should not be sticky at all. I always just run my fingers over my nails to make sure it's not sticky. If it is, I'll stick it in the dryer for a little bit longer. To finish this off, like always, we need to rehydrate these cuticles. I'm using this rose oil I got from Target, and I'm rubbing that all in. So here is the final outcome of my nails after changing my design without removing my extensions. They came out okay. I will give this a 6.5 out of 10 because I'm hypercritical of my work. It was the first time I did the fill-in, so I can tell they were still a little bit lumpy, but overall I think they look really pretty. And that is how I changed my nail design without removing my gel extensions. It's such a quick process compared to completely removing and then reapplying and then doing the design and all that stuff. If you do your own nails, you know how much of a process it could be. And like I mentioned, I'll do an updated, more detailed video on how I do the Gel X fill-in once I'm a little more comfortable with doing it, because that was my first time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll link everything that I use in the description box down below, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!